guys, I hope that you guys are doing amazing wherever you are in the world. My name is Boom Shakha. I think you should probably know that if you're on my channel. I really appreciate all the support that you guys have been sending my way, all the subscriptions, all the comments, and all the private messages on Facebook and email. I really appreciate all of that support. If you guys have any questions at all, as I've said before, you're more than welcome to message me privately on Facebook or email me or comment below. And I always try to reply to all messages, so I will never ignore you. That is my promise to you guys as much as possible, okay? In this video, I want to speak to you guys about how I've actually noticed a trend, not only within myself, but also with all the different messages that you guys have been sending my way, that we have this tendency as an INFJ to redefine what success means to us. And I myself have done that for myself in my life. It's been really an important journey for me that I've undertaken because as a very young adult or teenager, when I was a child, even I could imagine, or I could actually notice myself looking at what my parents had set up for me. You know, my parents wanted me to become a doctor, and the reason that they wanted me to become a doctor was because when they were young, they were really poor. And they knew that if I became a doctor, I would never be poor. I'd always have a lot of money. And if I had a lot of money, I would never have to worry about anything. That was basically their, I want to call it delusion. But that was the illusion or delusion that they've lived under. They still live under that illusion. They think that money is going to solve everything. It doesn't. And I know that because, it doesn't. Anyways, so of course, I mean, considering they're brought up and the fact that they're really poor, I can understand where they're coming from, okay? So they kind of built up this life for me where they were like, okay, you should become a doctor. And they kind of set up everything so that I only thought about becoming a doctor. That was the only kind of like path that was set up for me. I didn't think about it. I didn't question it when I was a child. I think about it a little bit. I'm thinking to myself, okay, my parents know what they're doing. They're smart people, right? I should just follow what they do, what they say. Let's keep the peace, right? As an INFJ, we always want to keep the peace, especially in relationships that really matter to us. And my relationship with my parents really mattered to me as a child. Not as much as anymore because I realized that, the more I cater to them, the less I cater to my own needs. And so that's it, right? But anyways, so as time went on, I realized that not only because thankfully I didn't get into med school, but more so I realized that, actually I was thankful when I didn't get into med school because I realized that was not the path I wanted to take anyways. Actually, the reality of it was because my parents had been kind of pushing me into one path for so long, and because I'd never actually really thought about it for myself, I didn't actually know what path I wanted to take. And so in my 20s, from 21 to around like 28, all I spent my time doing, all of my time, was figuring out what I wanted to do with my life. That was like my entire life. I would get up in the morning, I'd read books. I think about it all the time. I was like, I'd always be asking myself this question: what is it that I want to do with my life? Like, what is it that I want to spend my time doing? And I tried a bunch of different things. I tried different jobs. I tried different things, and I realized a lot of it was not for me because I was kind of following an agenda or a prescription that was laid out for me by society, by mass media, by my parents, by my friends, by colleagues, by whatever it might be, right? And so it was all kind of ingrained in me by other people. It wasn't coming from within me. And around 28, I think, when I started meditating, around that, or 26, 27. Anyways, I started meditating then, and the more I meditate, the more I realized, whoa, this is what I want to do, and this is what I'm doing right now. It's living my life the way I want to live. But I do know, and it's really interesting for me, because now I've redefined success for myself. I am successful in my eyes, right? I am successful. I'm not making millions of dollars. I am not rich and famous. But the way I live my life, for me, I realize as time went on, freedom is epic, is the most important thing that I want. I want freedom of time. I want freedom to do whatever that I want to do. I want freedom of location. I want to be able to move whenever I want to move. I don't want to be fettered by an offline business. I don't want to be fettered by something keeping me on the ground. I want to be able to move whenever I want to move. I want to be able to live wherever I want to live. I want to work online because of that, I want to do something that makes a difference. I'm lucky enough that I'm a minimalist and I don't have many needs, so I don't have that many expenses every month. So I can live very minimalistically And because I don't buy a lot of things, and I eat very little, I only eat 2 meals a day. I'm doing intermittent fasting. I don't have a lot of needs or desires. That means that I can, make very little money and live the life that I want to live, right? Especially in Asia, which really helps, right? And so, considering, if you look at it from the outside in, like if you look at it from a traditional perspective, if you look at my life, my parents always look at me and think, oh my God, why are you living this life? You could come to Toronto, get a really nice job, make a lot of money, live in a nice condo. I mean, they look at my bungalow right now and it's pretty open and it's like pretty basic. I love it. I think it's very luxurious. But they look at it and they're like, oh my God, but what about your condo back home in downtown Toronto? Well, anyways, right? I do feel for them. I feel bad, like they have to deal with me, really. I do feel bad for that. But they don't get it, that is not success to me. If I was in the gilded, I call it the gilded cage or the golden cage. If I was back home in Toronto and I'm doing all the things that they wanted me to do, like getting married, having kids, having a mortgage, living that life, kind of getting more and more debt, never being able to escape, having 2 weeks of holiday a year, God, all of that just sounds like this sounds terrifyingly suffocating to me. And I was so suffocated for the longest time because I kept on thinking, maybe that's the life for me, and I kept on trying and banging my head against the wall over and over and over and over and over again. Literally, that was me. Every single time I'd be like, no, I can make this work, and I would try, and I'd get sick. I'd get shoulder pain all the time. My back would spasm. Like, my body was constantly telling me, don't do this, it's not for you. And as soon as I quit and I started doing my own thing, boom, all these pains disappeared. All of a sudden, I started looking younger. All of a sudden, I look like I'm in my 20s, where actually I'm 34, It's only because I'm living the life that I really, 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 really want to lead, right? I'm not torturing myself. I'm not pushing myself down to live a life that someone else has prescribed for me, right? So I redefine success for myself. But as I said, if you look at it from the outside in, you might think, wow, she's so unsuccessful, she's so poor, she's so whatever. I'm not really successful in most people's eyes, right? But in my eyes, and that's the most important thing, I've realized as time goes on, is that it doesn't matter. I go back home all the time, and my parents look at me and they think, as you guys know, I wear the same sweater that I've been wearing for 15, 20 years, and I love that sweater. And I wear it not because I can't afford to buy a new sweater, because I love that sweater, right? I could buy a new sweater, but that sweater is mine, and I want to wear it. And so I wear it, and people think, do you not have money for clothes? Oh, God. And that makes me laugh. I'm like, yeah, no, I have money for clothes. But they're like, but why do you have such an old sweater? I think they look at it, they touch it, and they're like, this is at least 15 years old. I'm like, yeah, 15, 20, I think. At least 18 years old. At least 15 years old for sure. But that's not important to me. I wear a coat that I've got from Salvation Army or some clothing exchange, so someone else has worn it before. It's really old. It's really warm. It's really comfortable. I love that coat. I get a lot of compliments on it, but also it looks really old. My parents always look at it and think, do you want me to buy you a new coat? And I think to myself, no, that's not the whole point of this. That's not the reason why I do it. I wear that coat once a year when I go back home to visit for 2 weeks. Why would I buy a new coat? What is the point of it? When I could spend that money, whatever, $100, $200, on travel, on a hostel somewhere in the world, or on living my ideal life. Like, what the hell is the point of that? So the only reason I would do it for show, so that I can walk around the world and be like, oh, look at me, I'm only here for 2 weeks, but look at how beautiful my coat is. That's nonsense, right? And so as you redefine success, a lot of it's going to be where people are going to come up to you and say, but you're not really successful, or are they going to come up and judge you, or are they going to make assumptions about you? And that's totally fine. That's absolutely fine. That's the way it is. It doesn't matter, though, because as soon as you redefine success for yourself and you realize, okay, being successful to me is freedom of time, location, and the choice to do whatever the hell I want with my time, which is what I have right now. I have that freedom, and that's more important to me than anything else on this planet. It's more important to me than living in a beautiful condo downtown Toronto. It's more important to me than having thousands of dollars worth of clothing. It's more important to me than having a partner and getting married. More important to me than anything on this planet, right? That is success to me, and I am successful to myself right now because I have that freedom, right? But if someone else looks at it from the outside in, they'll be like, wow, you have nothing. I mean, I really literally can live out of a suitcase. I have all my stuff it fits into a suitcase. All the stuff I have here, it's not mine. Yeah. So I really don't own that much stuff, which actually really is another thing that gives me more freedom to move around and do whatever the hell I want, right? That's the point of it, okay? So the more I believe as INFJ, the more we live, the more we realize, okay, I don't actually prescribe to the traditional models of success. I don't. We really don't. We don't believe in that. It doesn't make any sense to us. Not only as INFJs, but I think in the world, a lot of people in general are kind of moving towards that, where they think, really, is this success where I am in a gilded cage, where I'm in a golden cage? Golden handcuffs is what they call it, where, you are basically in a cage. You can't do anything, you can't live the life that you want, but everyone else looks at you and thinks, oh wow, you have such a great life. And that's what happened to me all the time when I was in Toronto. I had a great job, I had made a lot of money, I lived in a beautiful condo, blah, blah, blah. And I had nice clothes, but then I hated it. But everyone would always say, oh my God, you have such a great life, you're so lucky, you make such good money, you can do whatever you want. And I thought to myself, what can I do? I am stuck in this cage that I've created for myself, because the more money I make, the more debt I create, the more, if I have all this mortgages and all this stuff, and especially if I get married and have kids and all this stuff, I'm stuck. How am I creating the life that I want then? I'm actually stuck for life. Because as soon as you start, you can never leave. You can't pull yourself out. And so I knew if I wanted to live the life that I wanted to live, I had to leave right away. I had to. And if I didn't, then I would be stuck forever. I would be stuck forever. I could not do that. Now, again, that doesn't mean that my success, my definition of success, doesn't mean that that's the definition of success for everyone. For my sister, being downtown Toronto, living there, that life, doing all that stuff, being a successful lawyer, making a lot of money, that is her definition of success. And that's amazing for her. She's happy that way. She's really happy. That's the whole point of it. It doesn't matter what your success looks like. It could look like a traditional model. That's totally fine. As long as it makes sense for you. There's no judgment here. And I never judge my sister because she's happy. That's the point of it, right? It doesn't mean that she should kind of give up everything and come live in the jungle with me. She would hate it. She would actually really hate it. And she could come visit for a bit, but she wouldn't be able to live here. It's too difficult. It's too rugged. A lot of people wouldn't be able to do it. I mean, I see spiders all the time. I live with spiders. I live with geckos. I live with tree frogs, huge ones. I mean, like this big. Oh, God. Every single time I see him, I'm like, do not come on my bed. I mean, and there's insects and mosquitoes and bugs everywhere. Centipedes in my apartment roaming around, doing their thing. So, I mean, would all people be able to live here? No, I don't think so. It's not possible. But for me, this is success. Which is weird, right? If you think about it. And I understand why people can't understand it. I understand why my parents think I'm crazy. I understand why all the people that I meet, they think I'm crazy. Why would I leave that life to come here? They look at me and they're like, but why? They're just so confused. They won't get it. Right? And they don't need to get it, actually. They actually will never get it. Because it's not their model of success. It's not. They're not going to get, they're not going to understand. And so I tried in the beginning. I really wanted to try and explain to my parents why this is so important to me. And I tried so much and they never got it. And the more I tried, the more they got angry with me because they're like, we tried so hard, we worked so hard to bring you here, la la, right? I mean, I understand. I don't explain anymore. I'm happy, this is my life. If you want to accept me as I am, accept me. If you don't want to accept me, then don't. You can leave, kind of thing, right? But this is important to me, and this is my model of success. So I don't know if I've made sense. I hope I've explained myself to you guys. It's really important that as an INFJ we find our own model of success, whatever works for us. It doesn't matter what it looks like to others. It doesn't matter if they agree with it. It doesn't matter if they like it or if they don't like it. It's our model of success. It makes sense to us. It makes sense to our spirit, right? That's what the most important thing is. And if you find it, stick with it. Don't explain to other people. Do your own thing. It doesn't matter. No one else needs to understand. No one else probably will understand, right? Okay? I hope, again, this makes sense to you guys. Again, if you have any questions, message me anytime. All my contact information is in the description below. And I shall see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.